Lachey from the Lil Lachey Show. Tune in every Monday at 7 o'clock right here on IAXISRADIO.com for hot topics, cool conversation, and me, your host. Gotta love it. See you there.
IAXIS Radio, the future of radio and podcast. No limit to what we do.
IAXIS Radio, WIAX, the future of radio and podcast. No limit to what we do.
We face the difficulties of today and tomorrow. I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the
host DAVON Franklin, and just want to bring that in, everybody happy Martin Luther King Day for Monday. You know what I'm saying? We here on a Wednesday, and we got a live pack show today. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to get into my community bits. They had a MLK rally for justice. You know what I'm saying? Going on in the community, and we're going to get ready to take a look at that clip right in a quick second. There's a rally for peace, and it made its way going across the Brooklyn Bridge. So we're going to take a look at that right quick. Come right back to you. Fair usage.
Time to celebrate and reflect on this Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. I want to remind you of some closings. Federal, state, and local government offices are closed. The same goes for post offices, banks, and public schools. Right now, a march into Manhattan rallying for justice. Here is a live look from Newscopter 7. Tom Kaminsky, where are the marches now?
David and Michelle, good afternoon. The marchers right now, you see a part of the group that marched across the Brooklyn Bridge. They are right at 26 Federal Plaza right now. This began over at Cadman Plaza in Brooklyn, the March for Justice on this MLK Day, not only marking Martin Luther King Jr. Day, but also calling for justice and also for accountability in the death of Renee Good. And you see the sign that is right in the front, MLK to Renee. So this group, again, made their way from the Brooklyn side on over to 26 Federal Plaza. There's another group that is going to be joining up with them, several hundred participating in this rally. Police were right alongside them, actually on the roadway of the Brooklyn Bridge as they crossed the bridge. But again, they are right now in that area, right in front of 26 Federal Plaza. We are live over Lower Manhattan. Tom Kaminsky, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Love to see when everybody goes out there and exercises their freedom of speech, their rights to their rights to voice their opinions about their dismay for the criminal justice that's going on out there. You know what I'm saying? As far as the ICE raids, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the unlawful tactics that are actually going on out there. My prayers and go out to those that are getting into, you know, the line of fire of what is starting to turn out to be, you know, kind of brutal. It's not looking very good. So, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully we could we could deter that and, you know, change course or change directions and where this situation is actually looking ahead. So thousands also waiting. Also in the news, thousands are actually waiting for help from child care assistance. You know what I'm saying? They're having an issue with the child care assistance behind enemy lines. Peace King. Hey, shout out to Behind Enemy Lines. Check them out every Saturday. Every other Saturday on IAXISRADIO, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Yes, sir. So we're gonna get to this clip right quick, talking about the thousands wait for help from childcare, from the childcare assistance. Let's see what's going on with that.
For low-income working parents, the burden of childcare can present an impossible choice. More than 10,000 New York City children sit on a wait list for subsidies, and families tell Elle McLogan that they're facing a crisis.
At Nancy Meikle's apartment in Ridgewood, Queens, new excitement surrounds baby Marvin, born 3 weeks ago. But with her newborn comes a hurdle for the mom of four, finding childcare.
Now I have to apply for childcare again for my son, and I am dreading the outcome.
She says she'll soon return to work as a home health aide, earning about $20 an hour. Not enough to afford daycare for Marvin, let alone after-school care for his siblings.
Just trying to actually get him in a space where I feel he will be well taken care of.
She expects to join the wait list for the Child Care Assistance Program, which provides low-income families with vouchers to help cover the bulk of daycare costs. More than 10,000 city children are now waiting.
What happens if you don't get a voucher?
Then I'm a stay-at-home mom.
Without a job, she's unsure how she'll support her family.
And all the parents out there across New York, this one's for you.
Governor Hochul is promising an additional $1.2 billion for vouchers while working with the city to expand childcare for all. Meanwhile, a federal funding freeze announcement is fueling anxiety for providers like Ian Wilson.
Everyone is stressed.
Most of her parents depend on vouchers, essential to her livelihood. She says even when parents get approved, vouchers are delayed or inconsistent.
Right now, it's not working. It's really not working.
The popularity of the program is why we've got a budget shortfall.
Economist Lauren Melodia predicts a federal funding freeze won't hold up in court, but says childcare funded by all levels of government remains too fragmented across agencies.
This is one of the things that the governor and the mayor really need to figure out, how to build one comprehensive program that is equitable, high quality, and stable.
The Hochul and Mamdani administrations tell us they're working together to address the backlog.
It's almost like we're begging for something that it should be a given.
In Queens, Elle McLogan, CBS News, New York.
Elle lives in Queens, and she covers the borough for us. If you have a story that you'd like to share, scan the QR code on your screen.
Yeah, man. Hopefully they get that squared away because we all understand, the difficulty, especially for single parents who actually have to figure out childcare services as they navigate to and from work. You know what I'm saying? We definitely know how those of us who've been parents, you know what I'm saying, definitely know how difficult it actually is for childcare services. You know what I'm saying? And getting that assistance. So hopefully, governor can actually clear that up. And more news, you know what I'm saying? Oh man. And more news. Oh, hey, shit. This is something a little dear to heart. Mayor Mondami and Bernie Sanders is set to actually join the nurses strike that's going on in the city. For and yeah, we gonna check out this clip right here, and I'm gonna come back with my commentary about the nurses about the strike for the nurses right quick. So let's take this out.
New York City's largest nurses strike is now entering its 9th day, and there appears to be no end in sight. There are no bargaining sessions currently scheduled as 15,000 nurses continue their strike against 3 major hospital systems. Aziza Schuler is live on the West Side, where later today, Mayor Mamdani and Senator Bernie Sanders will join nurses on the picket lines. Aziza?
Good morning, Chris. That's right. Nurses began showing up to the picket line here at Mount Sinai in about an hour or so. And as we just mentioned, we're going into day 9. Still no signs of backing down from their demands from the city's 3 major hospital systems. Negotiations remain at a standstill. The nurses union say what they're asking for are non-negotiables. That includes better staffing ratios, protection from workplace violence, and improved health care benefits. Hospitals continue to push back, calling the union's demands unreasonable. Every day we see hundreds of nurses out here holding the line, many of them saying that they would rather, of course, be inside caring for their patients. But until there's progress, they are staying put.
I've been loyal to them since my 20s. I've always been there. I've made so many sacrifices, coming to days like holidays, leaving my family.
In a statement yesterday, the CEO of Mount Sinai gave an update, writing, "Despite our best efforts to negotiate a near-term path to an agreement is very unlikely. Over the weekend, our operational teams extended our plans to run the health system without the support of nurses. NISNA leadership has convinced to strike." Well, Mamdani will be out here at about 10 a.m., as we mentioned, alongside Senator Bernie Sanders. As for now, there are no scheduled meetings between the union and these hospitals. Live outside of Mount Sinai on the West Side, Aziza Schuler, CBS News, New York.
This is why it is very important for you to have your union, advocate for your unions, because your union is supposed to advocate for you and fight for you and make sure that you get the benefits that you rightfully deserve. I am definitely 100% behind the nurses because I do understand, having been a nurse's assistant, you know what I'm saying, and knowing people and having people in the medical field currently, you know what I'm saying, I understand how difficult that job actually is, and how even more difficult and how dangerous it is when you get into the position of understaffing the facilities. You know what I'm saying? When you have overworked workers, where you don't have enough staff to deal with the patients, you know what I'm saying? The staff to patient ratio, you know what I'm saying? It leads to problems. You know what I'm saying? Accidents are bound to happen. You know what I'm saying? That could be very detrimental and can actually result into death. You know what I'm saying? And that's definitely important. So definitely kudos to the nurses that's on strike. Get them their fair due. You know what I'm saying? Pay them, because pretty sure you never know how much you actually need nurses and doctors and the whole medical staff until you find your ass in the hospital actually needing one. So y'all need to take care of them. Make sure that they are right. And speaking of Mayor Mondani, he's actually announced his administration actually has announced a new what you call a rent initiative for people who's just come home from jail. So we're gonna check this clip out right quick. Let's go.
Mayor Mamdani and a coalition of city and community leaders announced a new housing initiative that they say will offer stability and second chances. The Just Home program will provide 83 permanent, supportive housing units, and they will be specifically for formerly incarcerated New Yorkers with serious health conditions.
This initiative, it is a testament to the new city that we are building together. One that uplifts those among us who have struggled the most.
The people who will live here are some of the city's most vulnerable neighbors. Just Homes will keep them connected to care, to community, and their families. And in doing so, will make us all safe.
These housing units will be located on the Jacobi Hospital campus in the Bronx as part of a partnership with New York City Health and Hospitals and also the Fortune Society.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sticking with Mamdani. He's actually they also require New York City landlords to let it be known when their residents are living in rent stabilized units. Check this out.
There's a new law to let people know about rent-controlled apartments across New York City, and it takes effect this week. It's called the Rent Transparency Act, and it requires landlords post signs in buildings with rent-controlled units. Lawmakers designed this legislation to make sure landlords don't keep it a secret when they face restrictions on rent increases. Tenants tell stories about being unaware that they were in rent-stabilized apartments and having landlords violate those restrictions.
Yes, sir. So no more of that sneaky, dirty dealing that y'all out there doing. You know what I'm saying? Keeping that information away from the residents. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't stop right here, man. They also, the NYC, New York City's also going after the landlord, big landlords that have a lot of violations for not fixing up their residents' apartments and their facilities. So check this out.
The owner of this building and many other buildings around the city, for that matter, will have to pay a pretty big fine and correct thousands of violations. And the mayor says point blank he means for this action to send a message.
Every morning, I will not have hot water.
Diego Heredia says his problems and those of his neighbors, like persistent mold, bugs, and broken elevators for months on end, have been ignored for years by A&E Real Estate.
There are a couple of neighbors here that they need it because they're old, they use wheelchairs, and unfortunately they get stranded in their apartment, you know, and it's hard. It seems like they don't really care.
He and other tenants we spoke with say they're now hopeful, with Mayor Zohran Mamdani walking in the door Friday. He announced a huge settlement requiring their landlord to correct some 4,000 violations across 14 buildings, to pay a $2.1 million fine, and to stop harassing tenants.
City government has real power to protect the millions of tenants across this city. And let today be evidence that we are not afraid to use it.
But in a statement, A&E, which has more than the 14 buildings in question here, says it's worked collaboratively with the city to resolve issues and, in fact, has solved many of the violations. The company says it has spent hundreds of millions of dollars to rehabilitate buildings like this one over the past decade. We pressed the mayor about how far he would take this crackdown of big landlords. The city has, under extreme circumstances, the ability to seize buildings or even issue arrest warrants for bad building owners.
How aggressive are you guys going to get in this new administration?
The intended outcome is safety and well-being for tenants. That's what we are driven towards. And so we today are announcing a multi-million-dollar settlement with this landlord to actually rectify these violations. That is what we want to see. If a landlord cannot get to that settlement, continues to operate outside of the law, then we will hold them to account in additional ways.
Mayor Mamdani also responding to a report out of the comptroller's office that shows the city facing a $2 billion deficit this fiscal year and up to a $10 billion deficit next fiscal year. The mayor blames the previous Adams administration and says he favors a wealth tax to help the city solve this problem, and says Albany needs to send New York City its fair share as budget negotiations ramp up during the coming weeks. In Jackson Heights, Henry Rossoff, Pix 11 News.
Get him, boy. Get him, boy. Get him. Yeah, it looked like he about to put belt the ass on some shit right there, man. I'm liking that. I'm liking that. So we're going to get away from some local politics, and we're going to go to the world news stage right here, where we're going to talk about Trump headed to the European summit, you know, over the weekend. You know what I'm saying? To discuss in the midst of tensions that are going on over there in Greenland. So we're going to check this out right quick.
President Trump's headed to Europe today for the World Economic Forum as tension builds between the U.S. and NATO allies regarding the future of Greenland. Now, Trump insists the U.S. needs to take over that country for national security, despite Greenland having the support of all of Europe. ABC's Christian Cordero has the latest from Washington.
Today, after the Norwegian Prime Minister shared text messages he says shows President Trump's irritation for not winning the Nobel Peace Prize, Trump is now sharing messages from other European leaders. One, confirmed to be from French President Macron, says, quote, "We are in line on Syria. We can do great things on Iran. I do not understand what you are doing on Greenland." Trump tweeted a screenshot of another from the NATO Secretary General saying, quote, "I am committed to finding a way forward on Greenland." The president has agreed to meet with NATO allies this week. He heads to Switzerland today for the World Economic Forum.
We need more growth, we need more stability in this world. But we do prefer respect to bullies.
Macron seen wearing sunglasses because of what he calls an unsightly eye condition. Despite a military buildup in the region by NATO allies and an ability to expand U.S. forces on the island, Trump refuses to back down from his demand that the U.S. take over Greenland. He's threatening tariffs against 8 NATO allies who get in his way. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent on CNBC today warns against retaliation.
Do not escalate. Do not escalate. And President Trump has a strategy here. Hear him out, and then everything will be fine.
Overnight, the president posted 2 images, one edited showing an Oval Office meeting with global leaders from last August, altered with an American flag covering Greenland, Canada, and Venezuela on a map. Another AI-generated image shows him planting an American flag with a sign that reads, "Greenland, U.S. territory." Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
Trump's tariff threat starts with a 10% tax in February, then jumps to 25% in June unless the U.S. acquires Greenland.
Straight bully tactic right there. My man out there putting the Godfather moves on the EU. You know what I'm saying? Which is basically what they actually called it in their summit meeting. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get a chance to get no clip, you know what I'm saying, pertaining to that. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, a lot of that ass kissing, you know what I'm saying, is not working when it comes down to the thug commander in chief. But Governor Gavin Newsom has some words to say about the Europe, you know, basically, you know, capitulating to Trump and his activities and demands. Let's check this out right quick.
Wake up. Where the hell has everybody been? Stop with this bull diplomacy of sort of niceties, and somehow we're all going to figure it out. Stop saying one thing privately and another publicly. Have some spine. Have some goddamn balls. So this is diplomacy with Donald Trump. He's a T-Rex. You mate with him or he devours you. One or the other. The Europeans should decide for themselves what to do, but one thing they can't do is what they've been doing, and they've been playing. This guy's playing folks for fools, and it's embarrassing. I can't take this complicity. People rolling over. I should have brought a bunch of knee pads for all the world leaders. I mean, handing out crowns and this is pathetic. Nobel Prizes that are being given away. I mean, it's just pathetic. And I hope people understand how pathetic they look on the world stage. It's time to get serious and stop being complicit.
Knee pads and the Vaseline, boy. Yeah. So that was Gavin Newsom's words. But in all life fairness, to give a little understanding on the whole Greenland dilemma, I want to put this little small clip, a little short that I ran across to actually explain the reason why, or what people feel the reason why Trump is actually going after Greenland. Let's check this out.
Most people believe that Trump wants Greenland only for its minerals, but the real reason goes much deeper. If you look closely at Greenland, its geography itself is its greatest strength. Greenland sits right between the United States and Europe, a region known as the GIUK Gap. Greenland is not an independent country, it is part of Denmark. This area is crossed by several critical maritime routes used not only by the US and Europe, but also by Russia and China. Some of the largest Russian and Chinese ships pass through these waters. For China, this route is extremely important because it plays a key role in reaching Europe. On the map, the route may appear longer, but since the Earth is round, and if you exclude the Suez Canal, it actually becomes one of the shortest paths. For Russia, this is one of its 3 major maritime routes on which most of its trade depends, as the other 2 routes are controlled by NATO countries. In the next video, we'll explore why Greenland is so important for Russia.
Yes. Also, I don't know if we caught that, but there was also talking about because of the ice melting. You know what I'm saying? The climate change, the ice melting. You know what I'm saying? Is opening up different transit routes over in that area. So you know what I'm saying, for security purposes, this is the reason why he wants to actually go on over there and seize the land. Now, being that they're NATO allies and we already have military forces over there, you know, that's a little, I guess null and void. Do you see how small America really is? Yeah, but I actually think that map is actually kind of distorted, yo. But actually, no. In actuality, America is a lot smaller than what is projected on those maps too. You know what I'm saying? But also, so is Greenland. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna take a quick music break right quick, and we're gonna come back to talk a little bit of sports or point of contention with my brother Devin Franklin. We're gonna get into the controversy that's going on with my man Stephen A. Smith. You know what I'm saying? And why people keep jumping on him and shit. But we're gonna return right here on IAXISRADIO, Community Megabytes. Let's go.
Yeah, Donnie Rice, man. Why yo stand up? Yonkers finest. The machine. To be honest, you a microphone joke. Engagement ain't the same on your page when you like your own post. Voice lit his own throat at the yard sale. Flowers at the wake, followed by cognac and cigar smells. Flight after flight, no jet lag. Gave me my express pass. Your girl, I'm a stealer, no Metcalf. Studied my opponents, figured out their weakness. The foul was offensive. Played better defense, remember. It's never what you did, it's most recent. Snakes still slither in the grass and beneath it. Never underestimate the air that we breathe in. Bullets ricocheting through your thoughts, where them dreams went. Ya ain't sick, a slight cough. $1,000 belts every other week, they shutting your lights off. I might toss your flesh to the wolves, blood residue. All they saw is retro 3s and what's left of you. Old school, crack you in the skull with a special crew. Holla at the pastor right after the confession booth. Flow fire, needed heat inspection. Few of y'all decent. Problem is the beat selections, I'm the nicest. Sharper than an ice pick. Stabbed through your heart from the start, you was lifeless. Far from the best out your own clip. Smack the hell out your cameraman, had to edit the whole clip. It's rough when your money's tied up. The boom slide up, then your brain's left sunny side up. On a hot day, told you what the not say. Setting up shop with the ops, got your block sprayed. Why? Yelling cause you know we bout to bang out. Oh, opposition trying to blow your brains out. And never catch me slipping where I hang out. K, keep a stash buried in a safe house. E, everybody wanna ride the same wave. R, respect is only given in the game change. S, suicidal thoughts lead to more death. Either we at peace or at war, then we all stressed. Real talk, don't ever quit your day jobs. Body in this verse, with your hearses in the graveyard. One call and all stops. I know you feel safe getting drinks with the more cops. More shots fired, this competitive nature. 10 streams was your dream cause your relatives played you. Heard you working out, not a damn rep. Lied to yourselves, needed help with your polygraph test. Craft is perfected, you better respect it. The goal's to get rich but don't end up like Majestic. Die trying, soul in the sky flying. Courtroom filled, getting the chills, you denied violence. Judges want conviction, we just wanna make bail. Facts are, after transactions there's a paper trail. The best spitters come from YO. Background check, Curtis Jackson on back down. Why? Yelling cause you know we bout to bang out. Oh, opposition trying to blow your brains out. And never catch me slipping where I hang out. K, keep a stash buried in a safe house. E, everybody wanna ride the same wave. R, respect is only given in the game change. S, suicidal thoughts lead to more death. Either we at peace or at war, then we all stress. Why? O, N, K, E, R, S,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out Johnny Ross. Check out that Good Eats album on Volume 4, Leftovers Deluxe, on all DSPs right now. Well, we're going to get into the point of contention right now. And like, there's a lot of controversy that's going on out there, you know what I'm saying, in the world of sports when it comes down to my man. But we're going to bring my brother onto the platform. What's going on with you, bro? How's everything? Maintain it, man. How's everything going with you, man?
Good, man. I was sitting back listening to what you was talking about, or at least all the clips that you were showing earlier, and it's like, yo, it looks like they're starting off with a deficit. I guess we're gonna have to see what Mom Donnie does. And you know what's funny about that stuff, right? So this is probably what's going to end up happening. He's going to start trying to tax like the wealthy people tax or whatever the case is. And then they're going to take their wealthy behinds and move right out of New York. You know how I know this? Because good old Gavin Newsom over there in California, with which I used to live and whatnot, man, he's got a bunch of billionaires moving away from his behind. So he's talking about people having spines and balls and all this other stuff. This dude is the worst and most slippery snake oil salesman out there in the history of politics. But he's going to sit up there talking about somebody having a spine. I got a question for Gavin Newsom. How long is it going to take to build that train, that super speed train to nowhere? And how many taxpayer dollars actually went into that thing, and it still ain't built at this point in time? They was talking about and starting breaking ground on building that doggone thing when I moved out there like 12 years ago. It still ain't even halfway done. So where's the money going to? And this dude's talking about all this nonsense. Be quiet about the lack of strategy and stuff like that you have no understanding of, and go fix California. The homeless population is going crazy like there's a cancer over there. And there's billions of dollars going towards this homeless population, and it still ain't getting fixed. So Gavin, shut the hell up and get back into the books and fix California. That's why there's a bunch of people moving out of there. And so what they're going to end up doing is taxing the middle class, just like New York's going to end up doing, because the money ain't going to come from the wealthy 1% that pays more than 50% on the taxes. Get out of here with that nonsense.
Okay. Well, tell them how you really feel then, man.
I mean, it's just slimy. It's disingenuous. And you know what's funny about that whole deal? Because this is what I'm saying. I'm not ragging on Mom Donnie. I hope he does a damn good job, because New York deserves a good vote, and they deserve a good candidate that's going out there and doing his things. But what he did do, he sat back there and he blamed Mayor Adams on the deficit, the $2 billion that's going into $10 billion and whatnot. Now, what aboutism again? What about when Trump was doing that same thing, but blaming Sleepy Joe and Kamala Harris on the border and all the other stuff that was going on? Oh, now we can't have patience for Trump because he has to get things fixed overnight. But see, we're going to have patience for Mom Donnie, right? I mean, come on.
No, no. In all fairness, people agreed with Trump until Trump put in them executive orders that basically put the economy on his lap.
I mean, we'll see how it goes. Like I said, 4 years.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing gets built overnight. So, you know, and I'm going to grant Mom Donnie the same level of grace. He has charisma. He seems to have passion. He seems to want to do the right things for the New York people and whatnot. So I hope he does a good job. I'm not sitting over here hoping that he fails, because if he fails, New York fails. And so I wouldn't want to see New York fail. I wouldn't want to see any state in this country actually fail with elected leaders that are put into their place. So I'll go ahead and grant him grace and see what it is that he can conjure up. But him and Hope will seem to be behind the 8 ball at this point in time. We'll see what time tells.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Now, you sent me a clip last week, a Marcellus Wiley clip.
My boy.
Yeah. I didn't get it. The clip was too long for us to actually delve into, but I want to actually snake a little piece. So for fair usage and for the purpose of this segment, I want to get into this clip right here. Check this out.
The people Colin Kaepernick stood up for and threw away his literal career to stand up for, while those people are destroyed. And I promise you, Stephen, I promise you, when
I gotta stop her right there. Okay. I don't know if she's ever looked beyond skin deep and just came to this realization, quiet time at home, lighting candles, just sitting there and thinking, maybe this black man, this powerful black man, Stephen A. Smith, is not actually trying to cozy up to the regime. It's not trying to cozy up to those names and entities. just maybe, this black guy, I don't know, actually believes this, actually thinks that way. And his thoughts go from left to right. Because if you all have followed Stephen A. Smith in any political realm, you understand he's all over the place. And that could be a good thing. Because I think if we really had to go and fill out questionnaires about our politics, I hope it's not linear.
Yeah. Love me some Marcellus Wiley, man. I miss him and Jason Whitlock being together on TV on That Speak for Yourself. But, you know, that's a distant past.
No.
Oh, my bad. So Colin Kaepernick, right? I don't want to touch on him too much, but Joy Reid had something to say about Colin Kaepernick losing his job because he was protesting or whatever the case is. I was there at the game. I was there, all right? And so this is what happened, all right? Colin Kaepernick started stinking up the joint as a quarterback in the NFL. Now, his one job was to be the quarterback of the NFL. If he had spoken about the police brutality issues and all this other stuff or whatever the case is, you can guarantee, like if he had won the Super Bowl, if you will, you can guarantee that his political issues would have gained more traction and gained more ground. Because I know you for being a quarterback in the NFL. And you know, you're helping my team win. I'm going to root for you, yada, 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 right? But this is what happened because I was there. He got benched for Blaine Gabbert. He pouted like a little baby. He sat his behind down on the side and tried to change it into a protest thing. He was mad because he lost his starting job to Blaine Gabbert. And then for the rest of the time that he was supposed to be sacrificing his doggone position for the social justice and stuff like that, year after year, this dude kept coming back to the NFL trying to try out for teams. When they gave him an opportunity to try out for an actual team, instead of him going to the destination where he was supposed to try out for the team, he wanted to take it to somewhere else. He wanted to be above the NFL. He wanted to be the guy and all this other stuff, and found his ass being promoted to customer. And that's exactly what happened. So that's exactly what happened.
Okay.
I was there.
Okay.
I watched it. So
I'll be honest with you. That shit happened so long ago. I can't even. I don't even dwell back into that, but I do want to delve into the issue when they was what they would talk about with Stephen A. though, you know what I'm saying? Because even when it comes down to like, you know, the protest of the Kaepernicks of whatever have you not. I think what a lot of people have the issue when it comes down to him is like the him not keeping the same energy when it comes down to the critiques and the criticisms, like, you know what I'm saying?
Stephen A. Not keeping the same energy?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
Fair enough.
like, you know, I think when you call yourself a straight shooter, you know what I'm saying, it will go a long way that you have that same energy. You know what I'm saying? When if something is wrong on one end, you know what I'm saying, and you feel a certain way that you have to go at it in the matter in the way in the animated way that he does it, you know what I'm saying? That same energy should apply all across the board, and I think that's what a lot of people have issues with when it comes down to him and his commentary. And
I mean, that's fair. And you know what? I know Stephen A. Smith, just like I was talking about Colin Kaepernick. I know Stephen A. Smith because he was the loud, boisterous, reactionary type of person on sports, on Cold Pizza, on First Take, and all this other stuff. You know, built into a humongous thing, right? He lost his job before when it came down to it, like at ESPN, and then got it back. And now he's got this reign supreme, making $12+ million a year, talking sports crap. So that's fantastic or whatever, right? And he's eloquent. I mean, he's loquacious. I wouldn't say eloquent in all the things that he says, but he's very loquacious. And so that's cool. My thing was, and I stopped watching First Take once he got rid of Max Kellerman, because I thought Max Kellerman was the intellectual property on that show where he could be reactionary. And you know what? To me, that was the height of First Take. And because he got rid of that genius that was sitting right next to him, I lost interest. Now I'm a first things first and all that other stuff. But when it comes down to the energy that he has for the people, I'll talk about one thing in particular, because I agree with him on this, right? When he was going about Jasmine Crockett, people thought that he was going off on this black woman and all this other stuff. And, I guess they were emotional about that. And my whole point was this, because her platform was about the racism that's in there and all this other stuff and blah, 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 blah. And that's fine, whatever your choice is to get your platform and to get your name out there and all this other stuff, perfectly fine. But what laws, what policies have you written in there that have been shut down by the quote unquote white man where you can confirm this racism? So, and that's the thing that I'm talking about. You are a politician / lawmaker. So start making some laws, like start putting things into place that, all right, so I'm listening to your platform. You said you're going to do X, Y, Z. And it's like, okay, well, let's see what that looks like, because now I'm charged up. You have my vote. Let's see what you do for the people. But if the only thing that you do for the people, which is what Stephen A was saying, if the only thing that you're doing for the people is showing how much you can, like, talk shit to Trump and all this other stuff or whatever the case is, that's not solving anything for the people. It's good entertainment, but it doesn't help anybody. Okay, and that was my biggest thing with her. Because now that they did the redistricting thing, which California was doing that, all these other Democrat states were doing it, but now that they have the redistricting thing, and she can't be in Congress anymore, she has to go for Senate because she's already outplayed her hand or whatever the case is, or that has already outplayed her hand or whatever the case is, she doesn't have any policies to lean on saying, this is what I did for the people to make their lives better. And that's the contention that I have with that, man. If she had a resume and a track record of, this is what I was trying to do for the people, this is what I was trying to write into office, this is what I was trying to put into effect as a policy, and this is what got shut down, then the racism claim and all the other stuff that goes along with it has more validity, because here you were putting the gavel down, trying to make sure that these things came into practice, and you were getting shut down. But that didn't happen. It was just bloviating about racism, all this other stuff, which is funny. Just silly dad joke, if you will. They call this dude Trump racist, right? Which, whatever. I don't know if he's racist. I don't know if he's not. But then they also call him Orange Man. So is he? He's a person of color if you're going to call him the Orange Man. And so who is he racist against?
You didn't just say that shit, dude. You didn't. Dude, would you just insult me? Look, dogs. Man.
I'm just messing with you, man. I just had to have some jokes. It's time to have some fun.
I find it very interesting that people would always try to go and try to check, you know what I'm saying, the young lady's what you say, how her talk, her speech, and how she conducts herself and how she expresses herself when talking to the president. But I want to get into the this clip right quick of the commentary that Stephen A actually had to say for Miss Crockett.
Sure.
Well, I wouldn't vote for Mamdani. I wouldn't vote for AOC. I don't like the way Jasmine Crockett is talking. I don't think that helps the Democratic Party.
Last question.
I don't like that.
Question.
I hear Jasmine Crockett talking about how I'm just against all things and everything Trump. Is that legislating? Isn't it an obligation that you have to come up with something? You, Jasmine Crockett, you're calling them everything under the sun. How's that going to work? If it serves to alienate folks because they're saying you're just him on the other side of the aisle, acting the same way you're accusing him of acting, and then you get dismissed. This educated, brilliant black woman representing over 750,000 people is engaging in verbiage and rhetoric for the streets. And that's fine when you're in the streets. How many of y'all bring the streets to the table when you're at the negotiating table trying to get a deal done? How many of you are able to think that for a second that you're able to bring street verbiage to Capitol Hill and that's going to work for you?
It's not. Well, and he's wrong. He's not wrong.
Well, here's the problem with in what he's saying.
Okay.
I could agree You know what I'm saying, in a statement. But when you're sitting there capping and waving the pom poms, yeah, and you don't have that same kind of smoke for the commander in chief, who says the most outrageous shit that one would ever say, then basically it's like, bruh.
Well, okay, I get where you're coming from. I feel you on that. But now let's play devil's advocate here in just a moment. What this dude is talking about, which he makes $12 million a year plus to talk on radio. Okay. And so he's been in those boardrooms. He's been in those office meetings. He's been with the movers and shakers and whatnot. Right. And so in order to get a little, you have to give a little. There is a negotiation that goes on with this. Now, here's my thought about it, right? I don't want to go off on how she's talking or how she speaks or anything like that, but her education was well paid for, going up through school and through college. It was Ivy League type of education or whatever the case is. It was private schools and all that other stuff, right? It seems to me incredibly racist that if you were educated the way you were and knowledgeable the way you are, like as educated as she is, to me it feels incredibly racist to then take your verbiage and then try and translate that in Ebonics. I don't like that, because not all black people are not in a monolith. There are articulate people. It's not everybody is ghetto, and that kind of verbiage or whatever the case is not palatable for us all, but it's also not professional. So it's not going to get anything moved. That's the point. Like, it doesn't move or shake anything, and it doesn't help people. It's entertaining, but it has no.
But see, here's the thing, Spark. That's the same vernacular that everybody praised Trump for, being able to speak to the common man in a way that he can actually identify and understand. So how is it acceptable when the president goes out there and talks in a manner that the common man can understand and relate to? You know what I'm saying? Okay. And this lady, she can't do the same thing. How
right there? Okay, the answer to that right there is a whataboutism.
That's
whataboutism. One, hold on, let me finish. That's a whataboutism, and I get accused of that, and Trump supporters get accused of whataboutisms all the time. But that is a whataboutism. And number two, Trump doesn't represent black people. Jasmine Crockett does. And so, or at least that's the platform. That's the platform that she runs on, is that she's representing black folks.
No. Time out. No, that's not the platform that she runs on. She runs on as representing her district in Texas, just like Trump is representing the people of the United States of America, or he's supposed to be representing the people. That means all people: black, white, Latin, Asian, fat, skinny, homo, straight.
But now, that's all of that. What you're saying is absolutely fair. But here's the problem with that, is that there is a body of work. There is a resume. There is a track record of, even if you don't agree with the policies or whatever the case is, there are still policies. There isn't one over here. And so that's the problem.
Her policies is working for her district and the people at her district.
And what policies has she written into office? What policies has she written for her district? Because all right, so check this out. The reason why I'm asking that, right, is because in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I don't know her or anything like that, but in my opinion, she is not jumping into the political landscape or whatever to stop at Congress or Senate or anything like that. I would hope that she had aspirations to be even higher, to maybe one day make that run for the president of the United States.
I would actually hope that she would actually be there to do the job that she's there to do now, which is the problem with a lot of these politicians. They get into these they get into these jobs. They don't do the job that they're supposed to be doing, that they're at. You know what I'm saying? Because they're too busy looking for the next level, going to the next level without even doing without even doing the stuff that they need to do to fulfill what it is that they're supposed to do within their term. And here's another thing that I have a problem with. How is it that people have such a great higher are expecting such a great higher standard of a congressperson, of a Congress individual, congresswoman, congressman, but they don't have that same standard for the president of the United States? That sounds ass backwards to me.
I don't know if they don't have the same standard or what. I don't know what standards they actually have. The thing that, like I've said before, when it comes down to the voting practices and stuff like that, they gave me two options. And of course, the option that was on the left was not something that I identified with or that I resonated with.
We're not going.
I mean, that's just what it is. And then when it comes down to her, having aspirations to getting higher and into the higher level, because you have to do is have a track record of the law that you
basically, that's the same that's the same shit that y'all tried to pull that y'all pulled with Kamala Harris. It's like she has to have these exuberant amount of standards, you know what I'm saying, to qualify, while this guy lacks any. He has no.
That's not true. That's not true. That's not true. As a matter of fact, when it comes down to Kamala, she had one job. She didn't have to write the border policy. She didn't have to write anything about the border policy. That was her main function, and she did not do that well. But see, she didn't have to write the policies. All she had to do was enforce the policies that were already there.
She was not president. She was not commander-in-chief.
And the commander-in-chief at the time was a auto penning this.
He was not in charge.
Look, the guy that was in charge at the time was asleep at the wheel. He had a ton of auto pen things going on. As a matter of fact, when it comes down to competency, she was probably the most competent at that point in time. And Joe Biden did say out of his own mouth that the border was something that he assigned to her. And so she didn't have to write any policies or anything like that when it came down to the border. All she had to do was maintain the policies that were already enforced, or enforce the policies that were already in the law. She didn't have to do much, and she didn't do it well at all. And then when you talk about her other candidate, Tim Walz, $9 billion, might go up to $18 billion in fraud. Gavin Newsom, almost $20 million billion. 18 billion, 20 billion in fraud. Come to find out, it's a fraud ring. And so that's what it is. And so you were saying it earlier, and you're absolutely correct. The problem is that once they get into office, their main job at that point in time becomes getting reelected, as opposed to taking care of the doggone people. If you have the policies enacted and all that other stuff, or at least written down, or at least trying to push it out there, at least you have that track record of what it is that I was trying to do for the people. And she doesn't have, and I'm not talking specifically about
the problem with bringing up the fraud cases or fraud that you were just saying about all these people is that it's kind of hard to bring up fraud cases when you're supporting when y'all go out there and vote for somebody who's been convicted over how many counts of fraud. That kind of like makes it actually convicted of it. Like he was actually convicted of it. So moving along, because we're going to get into this next clip, you know what I'm saying, about, Stephen, about how Joy Reid entered into the fray of this conversation with Stephen A. and his talks pertaining to her rating. So we're going to get into this clip right here.
When we make the argument and we want to bring race into the equation, we got to have it. We got to have the evidence. It can't be subliminal. It can't be something that's assumed. It can't be something that can that is rife with plausible deniability. We got to know it. Now, if you want to sit up there and say Trump had something to do with it, that's fine, because he's coming after them. He's coming after G. He's coming after Mr. Brian Robbins for Comcast and their left-leaning, a news outlet. He's definitely, or a channel rather. He's definitely doing that. Donald Trump had an instant comment on Joy Reid on his Truth Social platform in the immediate aftermath of her being let go, dissing her. He's coming after folks. So now what it does is it provokes a bigger conversation about the networks themselves. And what are they going to stand up for? Or are they going to be strictly about their bottom line and kowtow to the president of the United States because he's coming for folks that he deems enemies. He's made no apologies nor any secret about it. That's what he's doing. If you're going to support Joy Reid, the best way for you to do it was to make sure she didn't suffer a 47% drop in the ratings.
Dang, yikes. He didn't have to go there, man. He went for the jugular with that one right there.
Yeah, but
I mean, so much so that MSNBC is now MS Now.
Well, that's because yeah, I ain't gonna get into that. I think MSNBC did a disservice to themselves when they were actually sitting there trying to, wave the pom poms for Biden, knowing that he was kind of like, what I'm saying, out of it. But I mean, we it's not really to retort and go backwards when it comes down to those administrations, but because it's shit. This administration right here by a long shot has lampooned that. You know what I'm saying?
So this is kind of a thing that I was thinking about. I don't know how to really articulate it or whatever the case is, but I'll do the best that I can. Why is it that Black people have to live in a monolith? And what I mean by that is that if we're not in 100% lockstep and in agreement with each other, then the person that's in disagreement is all of a sudden a coon, an Uncle Tom, a this, a that, or whatever the case is. Anything outside of their name, they get called that for having a differing opinion. Like if I choose not to vote Democrat, I must be a sellout or whatever the case is. Even though I'm an independent voter and I'm capable of actually looking at the issues and aligning with whatever it is that I want to align with, right? Now, you don't see that with very many other races. You see it particularly with the Black race. And I think that's something that has to be addressed, because we can have differing opinions. And the first thing that, and I'm not talking about you specifically, but I'm talking about us as a whole, as a unit. If I have a differing opinion with you, and the first thing, because I'm articulating this differing opinion, not you specifically, but I'm saying if I have a differing opinion with you, then I'm all kinds of other things outside of my name or the child of God that I am, or whatever the case is. Even if, we don't have to agree. We can agree to disagree, but we don't have to necessarily be disagreeable. And I think the thing is that if we actually listen to each other, then we can actually build more and understand each other's perspective, as opposed to when you hear something that's opposing opinion or belief of what it is that you feel or believe, then automatically you shut it down, and then all the name calling happens and all the other stuff that ends up happening, as opposed to getting to the point. And you know what's funny? It's funny that it's like we're sitting back talking about racism and all this other stuff, but the thing that you see at this point in time, based on those differing opinions, is Black people attacking each other. And so, are we the minstrel show? It looks like all we're doing is entertaining.
No, I'm gonna answer your question, and I'm gonna get kind of deep a little bit with it. I think, especially when you're talking about politics and you're talking about political ideology, I think because the melanated African American, because let's rest assured and let's get an understanding. Not all melanated people that's in America come from Africa. You know what I'm saying? That's been one mistold story. You know what I'm saying? The original people of the Americas are melanated, or what you would consider black people. You know what I'm saying? But I think when it comes down to politics, I think due to slavery, Jim Crow, and having to deal with political bias of a structure that actually was a system that was actually put in place to hold down the melanated man, the Black man, as you may call it. You know what I'm saying? Certain ideologies, certain talking points, certain it's like certain language types and certain things that we hear as Black people, we automatically understand and we automatically come to the defense of, because we know what it is. Like when we hear dog whistles coming from the alt-right side, in Trump's camp when they make certain references like to low IQ. You know what I'm saying? That goes back to the stereotype of them saying back in the day that black people weren't as smart as white folks. This all leads to that grand superiority complex. I'm telling you where a lot of this stems from. You know what I'm saying?
I got you. No, and I have no dispute about that or anything like that. I can agree with you to a certain extent, and you're right. But let's put it this way. I'm going to give a quick example.
I haven't finished because not.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Not only, you know what I'm saying, and because you made reference to us attacking, you know, other black folks. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of black progress, what you would call black progress and black succession, has been derailed by black people who would actually kiss up to white superiority. You know what I'm saying? You had a lot of the what you would call the house niggas that would actually go tell massa when the slaves was trying to revolt and what it was trying to escape. You know what I'm saying? So it's
those times anymore.
No. I'm breaking it down to you in the short, quickest way that I actually can when it comes down to this. Because as a people who actually went through this for centuries, you know what I'm saying? These are some of the reasons why when we hear hear black people or melanated people talk from those racist talking points for people that we already know and that we already deem as that's why that's one of the reasons why they quick to go and go on the attack. Then they say a house divided and see that's also set up by design as well, because what a lot of people also don't understand and don't realize is that racism was actually put in place for placism. You know what I'm saying? The whole divide, the whole black and white divide was actually to keep the peasant class from actually trampling over the elites.
Okay.
Because what they figured out during Bacon's Rebellion that if the peasant class, black and white, was to actually come together, they can actually come together and overthrow the elite because there's more of them than there are of them. There's more.
Okay, and so who keeps ringing the racism bell, though? Who keeps ringing the racism bell? That is the left that continues to ring the racism bell. Let me ask you a question, right? So here we are, and because you said some things about the low IQ and this, that, and the other, quick example or whatever the case is, it just happened that I was going, I don't really pay attention too much, but Corey Holcomb and Anton Daniels yelling at each other and all this other stuff.
Yeah,
on that was pretty rough, right? We're supposed to be some educated, well-to-do, influential black men, and all of a sudden it devolves into nigga this, nigga that, nigga let's step outside type of stuff. Okay, so that's one thing, right? And so that's one thing. Now, you talk about the low IQ and the education and this, that, and the other, how that is, the undertones are incredibly racist.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. When it comes down to it, if you need, so there is a bar of entry to get into this school or whatever the case is, to get this level of education, but because you're black, we're going to lower the standards for you to get in order for you to be able to get in. That, in my opinion, is incredibly racist, because what you're doing is you're saying that black people can't compete on the fair market intellectually. You have to create these programs and all this other stuff in order for them to get entry. And what ends up happening in those situations is when they actually go to those programs and they get their foot in the door and all this other stuff, they realize that they're not skilled enough in that position, or they're not educated or qualified enough in that position. They end up dropping out, and now they have no education, no degree, or whatever the case is, in a ton of debt, or whatever the case is. But see, it's for you to tell somebody.
Hold on, bro. Hold on, bro. That's no hold on. And salute to the Minty bin in the comments. That's no different than the rich white. That's no different than the rich white kid who academically sucks, but because his parents has money and influence, he gets into the school. He gets into a prominent school, even though his grades don't make the grade. His grade
No,
doesn't.
their money makes the grade. We don't come from money like that.
Where's the
Their money makes the grade,
Where's the smoke for that,
bro?
Where's the smoke for that?
There is no smoke for either one. What I'm saying though is for us to sit back and allow. See, this is what people are not understanding about this, or at least some people understand it, and some people actually pay attention to this, or whatever the case is. But when it comes down to this party over here and the rhetoric that they're talking about and all this other stuff, it looks like, and I'm not racist. I don't care about races and all this other stuff, but it looks like, hey, black people, you can't function on your own. You're not smart enough. You're not intelligent enough or anything like that. You need us to advocate for you in order to get you where you need to go. That's what it looks like, as opposed to you being skilled and talented and capable to go out there, pull yourself up by your bootstraps and get what it is that you want to get out of life. No. You're incapable of doing that. And so we're going to help you with all these social programs because we're the white savior. And that right there is incredibly racist. But nobody's actually acknowledging that.
Well, see, the crazy part is that you keep talking about pulling yourself up by the bootstraps when it's mere apparent that nobody in this country is what you would consider pulling themselves up by their damn bootstraps.
No, because it takes a community.
If your wealth was if your family's wealth was generated by the free work of others, how were you pulling yourself up by your bootstraps?
We're not talking about them. We're talking about right now. We had a black president of the United States of America. We had a black female first vice president of the United States of America. We've had all this level of excellence with all these different people that have done different things in different positions and have different accomplishments.
My point is, I don't recall any school lowering their standards to let anybody in. You know what I'm saying? And
check that out.
Y'all still try to refer back to that DEI shit, and I still keep saying that you don't lower your standards. You know what I'm saying? You make you open the pathway up that more people can actually come who meet the standards to actually apply and actually be accepted. That is what's been happening. That is what's been happening. What's happening right now is that those who actually had the free reign in there, whether they were qualified or not, because once you open a pathway for everybody to actually come in, and it's actually done by merit of whether or not you qualify, the mediocre ones who wasn't able, who was basically getting by just because they could get by, they no longer qualify. They no longer qualify because they don't meet the standards. So now, because they don't meet the standards, there's something wrong with the system. There's something wrong with the immigrants. There's something wrong with the black folks because they're in the system because they actually qualified, but because you open the doors for them, and now because I don't qualify because I didn't make I don't make the grade. Now I have an attitude, and that's what a lot of this shit is about that you actually see going on. Now I want to move along to actually do a comeback because I'm actually running out of time in the segment, but I want to actually do the clap back from Joy Reid for what Stephen A. actually had to say pertaining to her show.
He was talking about your show. What did he say about your show? And then you had to respond.
He said I got fired for ratings, and I'm like, excuse me, sir, you got $100 million for a show with half my ratings at my worst. I had to literally Google his numbers. I'm like, how many people listen to the show? Is it like 4 million people? Oh, wait, it's like, what, 500,000 people? Dude, that's like average CNN. That's not that high. They're paying you not for your numbers, my friend. They're paying you because you are willing to say the nasty things about black people that they want to say. You're willing to take their denigration of black women and put it in the mouth of a Negro. And because you're willing to put the denigration of Black women in particular into a Negro's mouth, you now think that, oh, I must be a freaking political genius. But just be clear, you're not being paid for your numbers. You're being paid for what you're willing to do to us for white people's entertainment. And as long as you cool with that, bruh, keep being you. But don't come for my friends. Don't come for people that I know their value and try to devalue them in front of all the Black women who can see and hear you, because we know what you're doing. Woo!
Call that white supremacy in a black face, and that's I think that's what, you know, because it goes beyond the political spectrum, especially when it comes to that. Like I said, stuff with that. Like I used to watch them shows. You know, I used to watch them shows a lot. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and it's true. The smoke ain't the smoke ain't the same, bruh. The smoke ain't the same, bruh.
So here's what I'll say about that, or whatever. Wasn't that Carrie Champion that was the podcast? That was Carrie Champion's podcast.
Yeah.
Wasn't she on First Take?
Yes, she was.
Okay, so yeah, love her scorn. I don't care about all that nonsense. Anyway, like,
I would call it first-hand experience, but continue.
Okay.
First-hand knowledge,
yeah.
But keep it moving.
I mean, I almost lost my point when it comes down. I did lose my focus on that because so it was just ridiculous. It's like, all right, so now she's talking about ratings and all this other stuff, and it's like,
no. Matter of fact, while you collecting your thoughts, let me get to the next segment. You know, let me get to this next clip.
I just want to say, can we get some of these bojankety, tap dancing, ignorant brothers out here, Black men, to stop attacking Black women publicly, especially when they don't know what the F they're talking about? We need to be supporting each other. And if you're going to come at somebody, come at them with some real information. Stop going around criticizing Black women because the shit just ain't right.
Everybody saw the movie Django Unchained. Remember the name of the person who cared more about the love of the slave master than he did about the love of his people or the care for his people? His name was Stephen. And Stephen was somebody who was willing to sell out his fellow African enslaved people. So what I would say to the Stevens who are in our world today, understand that the master will never love you.
There are people that have taken the time to understand that I always keep at the forefront the people that elected me to DC. What you see, if you're not in my district, may not necessarily be all of the substance that also comes with me, but there is plenty of substance. And if anybody ever wanted to ask, just like anything else, I always have receipts for the work that I have done. So I will just say that I appreciate the community and the culture, because this is something that I never even had to address or deal with because the community decided to speak up before I even knew what was happening. So I appreciate you. It does hurt, because it's like I expect more and better. And frankly, I am always down for a real conversation. I really am. I mean, but I haven't even experienced that type of stuff coming out of even Black men on the other side of the aisle in Congress. They even have enough respect to say we disagree on this policy or whatever, and we'll go back and forth. But like, they have not tried to do what somebody else tried to do. So it's all good when you know that you're walking in the purpose that God has put on your life. I'm gonna keep doing me, and you know, Amen. The world will continue.
Okay.
And then we're gonna close it out with his response right quick, and then we just gonna finish up the segment. Let's go.
Okay.
A representative in the United States of America would call me the modern day Django, and y'all left out the part that she was days removed from going on The View and saying Marjorie Taylor Greene, her nemesis, her Republican nemesis in the House over the last couple of years, Marjorie Taylor Greene should be shown grace. This is the world that we're living in. Once again, Jasmine Crockett has been invited on this show multitude of times. You sitting down talking to everybody else, how come you ain't sit down and talk to me? And I love how it's totally cool. I got to watch everything that I say. And I got to watch everything that everybody that I talk to and all of this other stuff. But you can go on Instagram and call me a modern day Django. Because I sat up there and called out Jasmine Crockett calling the president a piece of shit and simply asking, is that going to work for your constituency? All of this has come about. Never mind the fact that I said it because I wanted her to do nothing to get in the way of her running for Senate, because I wanted her to run for Senate. Why represent 766,000 people for a district in Texas when you could end up being one of 2 senators in the state representing 31 million people? Jasmine Crockett and her supporters were so appalled by it that a month or so later, she announced she's running for Senate, which was my point. She left out, other people who support her left out that I wanted her to run for Senate, that I think she has a chance to win a Senate seat, that I'd like to see Texas get a little bluish. They left that out.
Now, here's the issue. You know what I'm saying? I think this is what part of the issue is. I think, you know what I'm saying, and I've listened to Stephen A. You know what I'm saying, try to talk politics. He does a lot of straddling the fence, what we would call straddling the fence. And for some, there are some folks that they don't do the straddling the fence. They'll say pick a side, or they'll push you to a side. You know what I'm saying? So when you speak in a certain manner, in a certain way, with the kind of energy that he speaks, because he's always very animated. You know what I'm saying? And he's very, very animated when he's talking pertaining to us. You know what I'm saying? The black folks. I'm not going to get extra with it, with the black folks. But you don't share that same energy. You know what I'm saying? When he's speaking behalf of the issues that you know pertain towards the white folks. People take notice of that. You know what I'm saying? And when they take notice of that, they will begin to call you out. And I think that's one of the things that he's actually, you know, that's
he's experiencing that right now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So
yeah, I mean, yeah, he's been politically expedient, obviously, and I would, you know what, I was calling Trump a long time ago, Teflon Don or whatever the case is. Stuff just doesn't stick to him. But I'm going to say this: Trump is called big meal ticket at this point in time, because everybody talks about him and they all want to capitalize on the information that they're talking about from this guy. They want ratings, they want all that other stuff, and they know that that's a talking point in the conversation. The last thing I'll say, because I know I don't want to hold the show up too much or whatever the case is, but Don Lemon being on that doggone show right there or that podcast is absolutely fascinating. What was the point of him and his people, or whatever the case is that he was with? What was the point of them storming the church and intimidating the people? Coming to find out that might have been breaking the law. So he might find himself in a whole lot of legal problems. And then, oh, by the way, now he's pro-blackity, black, and all this other stuff. Isn't he married to a white?
He's a journalist, and so if he went to the church to actually interview the people that was out there praying at the church.
No. I saw the clips. I'll send them to you because we don't have any time at this point in time, but I'll show you the clips in with which he broke the law. And so that's not a problem. But all of a sudden he's pro this, pro blackity, black, and all this other stuff. And I don't care who you screw. I don't care who you date, whoever you find love with and all this other stuff. That's completely up to you. I'm not in your bedroom. But at the same time, while you sitting over there trying to take this pro blackity, black stance or whatever the case is, you're married to a white man. Shut the hell up. Stop with the race baiting.
And on that note, we're going to close this segment. Appreciate talking with you. We're going to come back next week with another topic, another hot topic right here, Point of Contention for the Community Megabytes right here on IAXIS Radio. We're going to take a quick quick music break. It looked like we about to put in my joint right quick, that Carvin Wines Blessings. We're going to put that joint in there. We're going to come right back with some live music for Asim Barnes right here on Community Megabytes on IAXIS Radio. Let's go.
Hope to be the best image of you when I'm standing on that hill. my life through the storm. Blessings, blessings, rain down on me. Blessings, blessings, rain down on me. Never give up the fight. Don't let them dim your light. Blessings, blessings, rain down on me. Never give up the fight. Don't let them dim your light. Blessings, blessings, rain down on me. Rain down on
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome. Yeah, that's a fly joint right there, man. Welcome back to Community Megabytes. Did you hear that yet, man? We about to get into this quick segment right here. The first record we're going to get into is the new single by my man Donnie Ross off the Good Eats Volume 4, Leftover Deluxe. This is him. This is Donnie Ross featuring Autumn Guinevere. The song's called Kick My Flow, and we got that for you right here, Community Megabytes, with DAVON Franklin on IAXIS Radio. Let's go.
Yeah.
One.
Drama, few bars so I can buy a few cars. Then I take a few flows so I can pimp a few hoes. Drama, few bars so I can buy a few cars. Then I take a few flows, take a few flows. So drama, few bars so I can buy a few cars. Then I take a few flows so I can pimp a few hoes. Drama, few bars so I can buy a few cars. Then I take a few flows, take a few flows.
When plan A fails, it's quickly how the plot change. Think you at the top, steady jumping on the bed with no box springs. Interrupt the middle of your best speech, taking family pictures, then open hand smack you in the next week. I can't, is a loser's mentality. Murder cases thrown out the pleas of insanity. Better write the best verse of your life rhyming after me. Living like a bum, don't blame it on the tax increase. Nope. Set goals and work towards it. Let your money stack, then put it down in your first mortgage. Shorty acting strange, kept saying she felt nauseous. All them early mornings getting fucked in the clerk's office. Don't let the haters trick you out of your spots. Some listen, but the rest end up dressed with nice suits in a box. The block wants you dead, fighting to stay alive. Look ferocious on a wind scale, category 5.
Drama, few bars so I can buy a few cars. Then I take a few flows so I can pimp a few hoes. Drama, few bars so I can buy a few cars. Then I take a few flows, take a few flows. So I can drama, few bars so I can buy a few cars. Then I take a few flows so I can pimp a few hoes. Drama, few bars so I can buy a few cars. Then I take a few flows, take a few flows so I can.
Y'all bitches think I'm pussy, just some white girl from Brooklyn. Subscribe to all my pages just to check what I've been cooking. Y'all looking for any chance I get to get y'all footing. All that stalking just to hate you, boy, just stick to losing. See, I'm great at what I do. Creative productivity, shit I never see in you. And I swear it's hard to digest when they think they all so smooth. Got their balls rubbed and ego boosted when they with their crew. Yeah. And for me, it's just a race to the top. Can't see who on the sidelines, just been writing on stop. So get the fuck up out my DMs, let you hear the talk shop. Tryna get me out for drinks, I want this album to drop. Always white girl this and white girl that. White girl gave you rhythm and it's just so sad. You niggas meet me and just get so mad. Yo bro, I think your pussy's bleeding, go put on this pad. Focus on your bag and get up out my ass. Damn.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That was Kick My Flow. Donnie Ross featuring Autumn Gwyn right here, Community Megabytes on IAXIS Radio. Did you hear that yet? The next record that we're going to get into right now is a smooth record by the lady Maggie Ray. The record's called I Could Put It Down, and she could definitely put it down. She's about to put that good loving down on this record right here. So let me know if you like this record or not. This is Maggie Ray. I Could Put It Down right here on Community Megabytes. Did you hear that yet? On IAXIS Radio. Let's go.
Yeah. kick the door closed. As I'm being like you already know. Jacket hit the floor, you don't say a thing, but your hands on my waist say everything. Candlelight tracing every curve. I feel you tense, I love that nerve. I move slow just to make you wait. You exhale when I say your name. I can put it down, make you lose control. Have you arching your back when I move real slow. When your lips to your thighs, feel it all shut down. Say my name like a secret when the lights go out. I don't gotta prove nothing, you already know. The way I work my body, yeah, I take control every time you come around. I can put it down, make you lose control. Have you arching your back when I move real slow. From your lips to your thighs, feel it all shut down. Say my name like a secret when the lights go out. I don't gotta prove nothing, you already know. The way I work my body, yeah, I take control every time you come around. Put it down, I can put it down, put it down. Oh, baby. Take my time, yeah, I like it teased. Every reaction coming naturally. The way you pull me closer, beg me don't stop. Got your hands gripping sheets when I hit that spot. I switch the pace just to hear you breathe. Love how you react every time I lead. They don't do it like this, they don't hit you right. That's why you on me every time. I can put it down, make you lose control. Have you arching your back when I move real slow. From your lips to your thighs, feel it all shut down. Say my name like a secret when the lights go out. I don't gotta prove nothing, you already know. The way I work my body, yeah, I take control every time you come around. I don't want it down. Chemistry, the way I touch you intentionally, that look you give me every time says I put it down. Slow back, deep strokes, no distractions. Every move causes chain reaction. When I'm on you, the world fades out. You gotta ask to know what you want.
Yes, Maggie Ray, I could put it down right here. Community Megabytes on IAXISRADIO. Did you hear that yet? And now closing out this segment, we're going to get into Big Papi. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, before we even do that, let me slow this down. Let me move this back. Any artists, y'all got music that y'all want played on the platform, please feel free to send right there. The email's right there. DAYRF13@gmail.com. You know what I'm saying? We take a listen to it, put it on there, and send it through our IAXISRADIO rotation. Now to close this segment out, we have Big Papi. The song is called Touch My Soul. All right. So hey, what's going on, Terra Vocals? Vocals by Jamel. Appreciate you in the chat. She liked that record. Love that record. Appreciate it. Hey, she liked that record. All right, bet. Yes, we're gonna have a live performance coming up after this segment right here. You know what I'm saying, by my man Asim Barnes. He's gonna give us a live performance. But before we do that, we're gonna close this out with Big Papi, Touch My Soul, right here, Community Megabytes on IAXISRADIO. For all of y'all who tuned in, love you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank my brother bless your heart. We're gonna be out here again for Point of Contentions. You know what I'm saying? Live love, love life, take care of each other. Peace.
Hello, this is Asim Barnes from Westchester, New York. Thanks for inviting me down south New York, Bronx, New York. Big up. Yeah, I'm just gonna do a few originals for you. Singer-songwriter, some couple covers in my own style, but yeah, just gonna take you on a journey of some of the stuff I do. This first one is called New Life, and you know, just this journey, not this destination, but this journey of this thing we call life. See if I can sum it up for you. Check it out. I said my love is true, love and life, me and you. I said that I'm stuck to you, love is true, love and life, me and you, and I'm going through new changes. I wanna know. Something drives me crazy. The truth is hard to tell for sure. In this new life. Said, in this world, married to that game, my girl. It's okay, I'll be sure. And I'm going through changes. I don't know. Something doesn't crazy. I'll tell one more time. Going through changes. I don't know. Something drives me crazy. Thank you. It's New Life. Yeah. So, yeah. This journey called life, not destination, something that I've had to find out. We're all trying to figure it out, you know. Just to get a little into my inspirations, I love rock, like a lot of guitar players. You know, Hendrix, Rolling Stones, Guns N' Roses, Slash, Lenny Kravitz, yada, 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 yada. You know, I can go down the list, but, you know, just to make it short, rock, funk, and I take a good inspiration from jazz and soul. My father's actually a jazz musician, and also a rock, funk guitar player originally, but a horn player, trumpet player. But I got, you know, a lot of stuff that's of you can say fusion, origin. And I want to, you know, a lot of life has to do with love. So y'all been in love before, had your heart broken, had your heart fixed, up, down, and all around. I know I have. So yeah, you know, when you get into a relationship, watch out. This one's called Watch Out. That she is the one. My nice thing, girl, you got me sprung. Sweet sugar thing, love is second to none. Oh, you got me going, you got me done. Wanna know what your night's like, what your life's like. I like it nice eyes and nice thighs. It's alright. It's alright. Better watch out for her love. You better watch out for her love. Watch out for her love. She gon' chew you out and spit you up. Oh, sexy mamacita, cola frita, señorita, ay bonita, ay caramba. You could say she's a feisty one, just as all the other gals. Second to none. You could say she's a zesty zest, so fresh. Oh, how I love to taste so good. So watch out for her love. Watch out for her love. Watch out for her love. She'll chew you out and spit you up. Break it down, downtown. And the beat goes on. Just like my love, everlasting. And the beat goes on. Yeah, you have to throw a little classic in there. Like I said, I like a little mix of things. Some rock, some funk, some reggae, you know, whatnot. A lot of my stuff you'll find is centered around, you know, life and love. I take a lot of inspiration from R&B, you know, classic soul and contemporary. There's actually an album by Raheem DAVON called The Love and War Masterpiece. I believe it's 2008, 2009. But, you know, Love and War, because soul music, R&B music is centered around love and social consciousness, as is reggae music, one of my big, huge influences. But, yeah, I mean, those are the two things, life and love, you know, or love and social consciousness, rather, you know, trying to deal with those factors. I want to hit a couple of my influences. One is by Kings of Leon, group that's really soulful. I believe a Nashville or Tennessee-based band. It's kind of, you know, combines some real hard driving grooves, guitar, bass, drums, but real soulful vocals. Tune called Sex on Fire. And yeah, I think the tune speaks for itself. The reason how we all got here, right? Anyway, I'll try to make it as clean as possible. But yeah, check it out. Lay where you land. Don't make a sound. I know they're watching. They're watching all the commotion. Kitty like play. Has people talking. They're talking. Girls, right. Your sex is on fire. Dark of the alley, breaking of day. Ahead while I'm driving. Soft boots are open. Knuckles are bare. Feels like you're tired. Your sex is right. Break it down halftime. I'm from money earning Mount Vernon. Wheels be turning, fire burning. Baby got me going so damn crazy. So save it. Baby just wanna sop you up with a biscuit, like some gravy. Let's get that double time going. Make this scene. Call me guitar screen. I got the shine, baby. I got the green. All I wanna do, mamacita, señorita, is just wet you up like a stream. You know why? 'Cause your sex is on fire. Yeah, I have to get into that a little bit, you know? Slow it back down. By a favorite artist of mine who also combines soul, rock, techno. So I'm gonna take you to the hills if it's all right. Of Ethiopia, Canada, U.S., wherever you want to go. That's music. It takes you places, right? He doing promo. You say keep our business on the low, low. I'm just trying to get you out the friend zone. Cause you look even better than those photos. I'm just trying to send your house an info. Driving through the gated residentials. Find out I was coming, send your friends home. On trying to hide it, but your friends know. 1, 2, 3. I only call you when it's 5:30. The only time that I be by your side. I only love it when you touch me. Now feel me when I'm messed up. That's the real me. When I'm messed up, that's the real me. Yeah. I only call you when it's 5:30. The only time I'd ever call you. I only love it when you touch me, not feel me. When I'm messed up, that's the real me. When I'm messed up, that's the real me, yeah. Just let you know it ain't so simple. Trying to keep it up don't seem so simple. I just stripped 2 ladies for I saw you. And I'm just trying to get it at my tempo. Always trying to send me out to rehab. Drugs start feeling like it's decaf. I'm just trying to live life for the moment. And all these mother lovers wanna relapse. 1, 2, 3. I only call you when it's 5:30. The only time that I be by your side. I only love it when you touch me, not feel me. When I'm messed up, it's the real me. When I'm messed up, that's the real me, yeah. I only call you when it's 5:30. The only time I'd ever call you mine. I only love it when you touch me, not feel me. When I'm messed up, it's the real me. When I'm messed up, it's the real me, yeah. Break it down. The hills have eyes, the hills have eyes. Who are you to judge? Who are you? Yeah, that was The Hills by The Weeknd. Yeah, you know, and basically about the crazy rock star life. Something that, you know, I've you know, I'm not going to say 100% experience, but I've been around the block, you know. So I ain't going to preach to no one. Live your life, you know, do what you want to do. But I've been around, you know. I rubbed shoulders with a lot of people in the industry and, you know, just have a clear head. There's a lot of things crazy happening out here, politically, socially, racially, economically, demographically. You know, the list is way too long. But before any of that out there in society, make sure you knowledge of self. It all starts internally. So I'm gonna close out. Thank you for having me. Asim Barnes, money earning Mount Vernon, Westchester, upstate New York. But I get around. I'm all around. I'm doing a gig actually next Thursday at the Shrine in Harlem. That's January 29th, 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. And yeah, you know, Asim Barnes, Facebook, Guitar Man, that's GEETARMAN 77, Instagram, and I'll be around. Just want to leave you with something called Cornbread to Cali. I got family from down south. I grew up with cornbread, love it. Again, I grew up with Latin and jazz as well too. Salsa, played with Joe Baton, played with a lot of salseros. That's why I know some of my bullshit Spanish. I try, right? A for effort. Excelente. Anyway, mi gente, es cante para ti. For everyone, for all of us, para nosotros. It's called Cornbread to Cali. It's about getting together and having a good funky time. Hey, people gather round in the town. Doesn't matter white or black or brown. Gathering to this funky sound. Get them feet on the ground. Cornbread to Cali. Cornbread to Cali. Cornbread to Cali. Cornbread to Cali. It's a love thing, like the whisper said. Hey, sexy lady, love the way you shake and whine. Got me going out of my mind. Stop wasting all my precious time. Let's take this thing to the end of the line. Cornbread to Cali. Cornbread to Cali. Let's break it down, take it back. We bought the funk. Gotta have that funk. We got the funk. Gotta have that funk. We need the funk. Gotta have that funk. We need the funk. Levántase, mi gente, oye. Levántase. Baila, baila, mi gente. Levántase, mi gente. Thank you all. All right. Buenos noches. Mucho gusto. Todo bien. Yeah, man. So, again, Asim Barnes. That's ASIM Barnes, like Barnes and Noble. We playing at the Shrine next Thursday. August. Sorry, not August. Whew. Music gets me high. I apologize. January 29th, Thursday, 10 p.m. to midnight. Be there. Be cool. Don't act a fool. Stay in school. Peace and love.